new growing up Skipper. She's 2 dolls in one. Because when you turn her arm, you can make her change instantly from a little girl to a tall, slender teenage doll.
Hello doll fans and welcome back to Beauty Inside a Box. Today I am so excited because I have an incredibly rare, incredibly controversial Barbie doll to open for you today. I should probably be wearing gloves even holding this, but ta-da! We have Growing Up Skipper. If you've seen the Barbie movie, you may remember this doll because she appears in the scene at Weird Barbie's house. She is infamous as the Skipper doll which grows breasts.
Growing Up Skipper? May I? Okay. Watch this. Ah! Her boobs grow.
And we are going to unbox her and take a closer look today. This has become a little bit of a series on my channel where I unbox controversial Barbie dolls. So far we've looked at the pregnant Midge doll, the hazardous Barbie and her dog Tanner doll set, and we've looked at Teen Talk Barbie, who had some questionable things to say. If you want to watch any of those previous videos after this one, then I will put a link in the description and on the screen somewhere to the Controversial Dolls playlist. Also, if you love dolls and Barbie as much as I do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and also check out my Patreon. I have 5 exclusive videos on my Patreon right now. In one of those videos, I talk about all of my nostalgic 90s Barbie dolls. Support starts from just $3 and you can see all of those exclusive videos. By the way, this doll is very rare and very old, and I spent the most money I have ever spent on a doll in my life buying this doll, including postage and paying for her to be imported. She cost me £400. So I really hope you enjoy this video. Anyway, before we can open Growing Up Skipper, let's talk a little bit about her history. Skipper was originally launched in 1964 as Barbie's little sister.
But you haven't met Skipper. She's Barbie's little sister, and she has beautiful long hair you can really brush. And because Mattel's exciting new Skipper is smaller than Barbie, she has her very own fabulous fashion. They're all just as perfectly made as Barbie's.
And just over 10 years later, in 1975, Mattel decided it was time that Skipper and the kids that play with Skipper should learn all about the fun and joy of puberty.
Puberty.
The doll is infamous for the mechanism concealed under her rubber torso. When you rotate her arm, she grows 3/4 inches, and she also grows small breasts. Which, of course, stirred up a lot of controversy at the time she was released. Apparently, at the time, pretty much every news publication was printing stories about the doll, and women's groups wanted the toy manufacturer to stop advertising the doll. This article here says, the Connecticut Feminist Committee for Media Reform said it is destructive to the image of women. They also said it's a grotesque caricature of female bodies that invites ridicule. And it caters to psychotic preoccupation with instant culture and the instant sex object. Mattel just responded by saying that market research shows that girls accepted it as 2 dolls in one. But this actually wasn't the first time Mattel had considered the idea of making a growing doll. In 1967, a prototype for a doll called Francie Grows was made. The idea behind the doll was that when you squeezed her waist, she would grow. But unlike Skipper, I don't think she had growing breasts. Mattel were never able to get the mechanism to work properly, so the doll was never released. But the idea was shelved and later reworked into Growing Up Skipper. As you can see on the box, she's advertised as 2 dolls in one for twice as much fun. But some of the other phrasing on the box and in the advert is still quite questionable. The marketing seems to focus very heavily on her maturing teen body. Yikes. Quick side note, this doll originally cost $4.99. I paid like 100 times that. I do really love these images here, they're really cute. It says, make her grow from young girl to teenager in seconds. For ages over 3? Why would a 3-year-old need to worry about puberty? On the back of the box it says, make Skipper doll grow, turn her left arm all the way round, bit grotesque, counterclockwise. See her grow slim and tall and curvy. From little girl Skipper, turn her arm all the way around clockwise. She's cute and young again. Also, very sus the idea that you can turn her back into a child. A set of pretty clothes for each time in her life. I don't really understand why she wears a longer skirt when she's more grown up. Here next to the image it says, cute little girl, tall, curvy teenager. Interestingly enough, 1975 was the same year that Ruth Handler resigned from Mattel. And for the first time, the company was being run pretty much entirely by men. So, are we surprised that they pretty much immediately brought out this creepy doll? Apparently, the head of design at Mattel was inspired by his daughter, who had just started wearing bras. But when he took the idea to the sample makers, who were 2 women, they flat out refused to work on the doll. This story seems pretty accurate, but I actually struggle to find any evidence of it being true. So, if you know any articles, let me know. Obviously, puberty is not something to be ashamed of, and I guess you could argue that this doll could be used as a tool to teach kids about puberty, but it is a topic which needs to be handled with care, and probably not advertised as a play gimmick. The heavy focus on Skipper's body, and especially her breasts, is quite uncomfortable. Anyway, doll fans, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's take Growing Up Skipper out of her box. Ta-da! Here she is, growing up Skipper out of her box, and this doll has been beautifully preserved. I'm very pleased. She's very clean. She has really, really nice soft hair, and she even still has her little ribbon hairband, if you can see that in there. She has a really cute little vintage Skipper face. Her legs are actually hard plastic, they're not bendable. And how cute and 70s is this outfit? I'm obsessed. Shall we make Skipper grow up? So when you pull her arm down... Oh gosh. I don't want to break it, obviously it's very old. Oh, there we go. Does it go any further? And now she's a teenager. I mean, I have to say, the breasts are, like, hardly even noticeable. But still, they are there, they did grow. And her torso has gotten freakishly long, because obviously her arms don't grow and her legs don't grow, only her torso does. This looks very unusual. Oh, and then she just snaps back to being a child. Just to show you that mechanism again. Oh, there we go. And there you have it. So I think I'm personally going to keep her as a child because the long, elongated, stretched out torso makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. She came with some little red shoes, which I'm a little bit too scared to put on her because the plastic feels very brittle. And they even came with strap-on, like, platform heels to make her even taller when she's a teenager. She also came with a little ascot, which is very Scooby-Doo. And she also has her long wraparound skirt, which is actually, like, really nicely made. I do really like her clothes. She's got really cute outfits. Even though there was a lot of controversy around this doll, Mattel weren't backing down on this gimmick. In 1976, Growing Up Ginger was released to be Skipper's friend. This was the only doll of this ginger character that was ever made. I think after this, they just wanted to sweep this whole era for Skipper under the rug. Growing Up Skipper dolls continued to be produced until 1977. I've heard it said that this doll didn't perform very well and didn't sell very well, and it definitely was very controversial, but I actually haven't seen any evidence of it not selling well, apart from the fact that it was only made for 2 years. And interestingly enough, 2 years after Ruth Handler left Mattel, the company returned to profitability after being close to bankruptcy. Interestingly enough, Mattel also brought out a book to go along with this doll, which apparently handled the subject of Skipper going through a growth spurt really well. It was much more wholesome. I looked through some pages of it that I could find online, and it mostly focuses on how Skipper was maturing as a person and getting ready for her first day of school. It also doesn't draw unnecessary attention to Skipper's breasts like the doll did. Unfortunately, and kind of weirdly, the book came out in 1978 after the doll was discontinued. Which is a shame because the book might have been a nice companion piece of literature to go along with the doll. They also released a bedroom playset which could transform from a kid's bedroom to a teenager's bedroom. I do quite like the concept of the bedroom playset because, again, it kind of focuses on Skipper maturing as a person as opposed to physically. The best part of the Growing Up Skipper line was the adorable fashion packs which could fit both doll sizes. These fashion packs are really beautiful, really well made, super cute. I love all the 70s colours. In 1979, Super Teen Skipper was released and she had a brand new body mold which permanently looked slightly older than the original Skipper. In the early 80s, Skipper was in a kind of weird limbo period where Mattel would go back and forth between using the younger Skipper body mold and the older Skipper body mold for quite a while. It wouldn't be until about 2009 when Mattel would settle on Skipper's age permanently being 14, and Skipper is still 14 to this day. You would have thought Mattel had learnt their lesson about using gimmicks like this, but no, because in 2006, they made a line of My Scene dolls called My Scene Growing Up Glam, which had the same mechanism. They were also met with a lot of complaints and controversy. So there we have it, doll fans. I spoke about Growing Up Skipper. If you want to know more about Skipper, I made a whole video looking into her history, which I will link on the screen somewhere, and also put a link to in the description. Also, don't forget to check out my other controversial Barbie doll videos. And like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and also subscribe to my Patreon. The sound as well. So strange. Thank you to Siren Kelly, Sunny, Bobby, Cheryl, Imani, Tracy, Jico, Patty Heiss, Anna, Jordan, Cynthia, Raina Ray, Petra, and Desi. And thank you to all my other Patreon supporters. Your support means everything.